Namaste. Welcome to PRAJNAVARIDHI, a lecture series organized by Panchajanya every year. Today, we have with us Vaidya Shashirkha ST, Professor in Swastavrita and Teaching Research Methodology for UG batches. Ma'am has done her undergraduation from Ashwini Ayurveda Medical College and postgraduation postgraduation in MD in Kaya Chikitsa from Sri DGM Ayurvedic Medical College, Gadag. She has also done Master of Hospital Administration from Ramaya University of Applied Sciences, Bengaluru. She has also done her post-graduation in Public Health Nutrition from Indian Institute of Public Health, Delhi, and many other short-term courses. Ma'am has presented many papers in national and international conferences and published articles and involved in institutional and university projects. Today, we have her on our platform for orienting you all towards research methodology and biostatistics. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Shashirkha, professor in the Department of Swastavrita. So I take this opportunity and thank Team Panchajanya for providing me the opportunity to give orientation on research methodology and medical statistics for final year students. So going with the topic of research methodology. So research, you must know what is research, okay, how you are going to collect the data, how you are going to analyze the data, and you must have evidence for all this. So research methodology as such is a very easy paper if you understand the concept well. So you will have only one paper which will be having 50 marks. So this is the what I have shared is the marks allocation. We'll just go through the marks allocation for 50 marks. You will have LAQs, SAQs, and MCQs, as you know already. So LAQs, here you will have 2 LAQs, each consists of 10 marks, 4 SAQs, each consists of 5 marks, and 10 MCQs, each consists of 1 marks. So 10 plus 20 plus 20, so you will have it for 50 marks. Okay, number of questions what you're going to attempt will be 16 number of questions you're supposed to attend. So here you're supposed to attend all the questions compulsorily. And concerned to two divisions in research. One is research methodology and another one is statistics. So here you will have 30 marks which will be allotted for research methodology questions and 20 questions, okay, from biostatistics. Okay, so here you will have 5 MCQs from research methodology and 5 MCQs from biostatistics. Okay, so I'm telling you about the MCQs, which will be 10 in number, 10 questions, and research methodology questions will be 5, and biostatistics questions will be 5. And coming to SAQ, you will have 4 questions, each consists of 5 marks. In the research methodology, much of the questions will be coming from research methodology, that is maximum number, that is 3 questions. Mostly 3 questions will be from research methodology and 1 will be from biostatistics. So it will be easy for you to answer. And coming to LEQs, you will have 2 questions. One will be from research methodology and one will be from biostatistics. Each will consist of 10 marks. Okay, so the paper balances research skills and the statistical reasoning while keeping the prescribed 50 marks structure. Okay, how you are going to fill the content, okay, whether you are adding the relevant points, okay, or you giving proper illustrations, all this matters here. Okay, so these are the topics which are coming under research methodology. First one, which is first topic is introduction to research. Okay, so in that, okay, maximum number of questions, the questions which you will get is from SAQ, that is for 5 marks. So in this introduction to research, you will have what is research, okay, so what is the scope of research, okay, and what is the significance of research in medical science, okay, or our integrative science. All this you have to prepare for 5 months. Okay, then historical developments. This is actually the NLH theory part. Okay, so here you must know the historical development of research. Okay, so how you are going to start is, okay, from the ancient period till the modern period, how it has evaluated. Okay, those points you are supposed to cover. Okay, so that you have to prepare for 5 months. Okay, so these are the probable questions from topic 1 and topic 2. Next is research type. Okay, this is very, very important topic. Okay, so here you will be learning about different kinds of researches. Okay, for example, you will have primary research, secondary research, basic research. Okay, many such. Okay, so all these types, okay, you will get it for MCQs also. Okay, they may ask the questions taking the case scenario, what kind of research it is. Okay, so those kinds of research, okay, research types, okay, they will be asking for MCQs, and it may also come for SAQs. Okay, for 5 marks, how they may ask the question is, okay, so they may ask what is the difference between the primary and the secondary research. Okay, or they may ask what is the difference between transitional research, okay, and the observational research. Okay, such questions you will be getting for 5 months. Okay, or they may ask to describe two kinds of research. Okay, define, okay, basic research as well as the observational research. Okay, such questions they may ask. You're supposed to describe each research. Okay, so what you will be doing here is, okay, you have to just don't answer it very vaguely, go on answering, okay, to the point. Okay, and it may come for LAQs also. Okay, so they may club the questions like what is research, what are the types of research, okay, brief the different types of research. Such questions also they may ask for 10 marks. Okay, so this is one of the important topic what you have to, where you have to concentrate. And the fourth topic, research ethics. Okay, so what ethics we have to follow during the research process. Okay, so you have the institutional human research, okay, you have the animal research, and some points you have to cover related to the publication ethics. Okay, so it may come for MCQs. Okay, so it may come for SAQs. Okay, so it is better to get ready for 5 months. Okay, in that, what is research ethics? Okay, yeah, human institutional human ethics and animal ethics. Both you are supposed to know. Okay, so and coming to the research designs and the terminologies, what are the different terminologies, important terminologies which will be used in the research. Okay, so it may be some terms like hypothesis. Okay, so it may be something related to research critic. Okay, such terms will be asked here. Okay, or they may ask what is cohort study, cross sectional study, such any of the terms they may ask in research. Okay, so those terminologies, and what is the research design. Okay, whether you're going to take two groups, one group. Okay, such how is your research design. Okay, that will be expected there. It may come for MCQs or it may come for LAQs. You must know thoroughly about the research design. Okay, and research process. Okay, it may come for MCQs as well as the LAQ. You're supposed to learn it for 10 marks. Research process, what are the different steps of research process you are supposed to know. Okay, databases, portals, and what is the importance of AI. Okay, what are the portals, okay, and what are the databases, how you can access the databases. So all this will be coming under this topic, and it may be asked for MCQs or SAQs. You are supposed to uh, prepare them for 5 months. Okay, and reporting guidelines. Okay, when you have done the report, like research, what are the guidelines you are supposed to follow to report that? And IPR, intellectual property right, patency, and the TKDL, all this will come for either MCQ or SAQ. Okay, and research critiquing, it will come for MCQs. Okay, so this is how the marks are distributed in, okay, research methodology. Now, coming to biostatistics, you will have this paper for 20 marks, whereas research methodology will be asked for 30 marks, whereas biostatics will be for 20 marks. So, in this, in introduction to medical statistics, okay, so some of the important points, okay, what is statistics, okay, medical statistics, what is its importance, okay, so those things you will be studying here, some of the important terminologies. So those will be usually asked for MCQs. And data, okay, you will have different sets of data. It may be numerical, it may be subjective, okay, different types of data you will have. So those will also be asked for MCQs. And basic statistical terms, okay, some of the important terms, okay, like significance, hypothesis, all this will be the important terminologies which will be asked under MCQs. Okay, and collection and presentation of data, when you're going to collect it, how you're going to represent it, okay, whether you're going to represent it in a tabular form or in a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet, or you're going to show it in a graphical form, all this you're going to learn here. And that may come for MCQs or SAQs and LAQs. Okay, this is one of the important topic, right? And next topic is central tendency. Okay, central tendency, mainly you will get mean median mode. Okay, that may be asked as a LAQ, okay, for 10 marks. So usually what they will be asking, they will ask what is central tendency, okay, and you are supposed to explain about the mean median and mode, okay, in detail. Okay, next is deviation. Okay, so deviation, or it is also called as dispersion or variability, which will also be asked for LAQ, 10 marks. And next is the probability. Okay, so how much it is probable. Okay, when we are calculating, we have to go with the probability test. How many times it may be probable. Okay, so those, the concept of probability will be asked for SAQ. Okay, and hypothesis and testing of significance. Okay, this will be as a MCQ. Okay, and parametric and the non-parametric test, this is one of the important topic here, which will be asked for MCQ, or it will be asked for SAQ. They may ask some of the scenarios, and they may ask which type of test it is, or they may ask, okay, by giving the list of parametric tests, they may ask which is the non-parametric test among this, or which is the parametric test among this. Okay, so you have to select the right one. Okay, and correlation and regression, okay, it is a very important topic, okay, where you will be correlating one variable with the another variable. So this will also be coming for MCQ. And next is the statistical software. We are going to use different tools, okay, for analyzing our data. Okay, so that is where it is important, okay, statistical software, and that will be asked as MCQ. Okay, so most of the questions here you will get it under MCQ. Okay, very few in SAQ. And like data, central tendency, and measures of deviation, this you may get it for 10 marks. Okay, I think you are clear with it. Okay, so we may think that majority of the MCQs will be desired, nice to know or desired to know, but okay, so you have to go with must know, desire to know, and nice to know areas also. Okay, so and SAQs may also come from desire to know. Okay, and LAQs will mostly come from must to know. Okay. So here, this is how the research goes. Whenever we are taking the research, okay, this is how the research methodology workflow will be. First is research question. We have to frame the research question. Okay, so what is the research question? Sorry. So we will have the research question. Okay, so our research question may be probably like, okay, so in this area many of the works are not done, and I'm going to find out this. Okay, that's why, okay, this will be my research question. And the design and method. Okay, so what method I'm going to use, whether I'm taking the sample randomly, I'm selecting the sample, or I'm going to use the different method. Okay, or I'm going to structure it. Okay, I'm going to compare some two groups. Okay, or I have taken the single group with the open label study. Okay, and I'm going to collect the data which is related to that. Okay, I'm going to, for a diabetic patient, I'm going to collect the data related to their blood sugar levels. Okay, example. And I'm going to analyze the data, whether, okay, like snigdha ahara dravya, the person who is having ati snigdha ahara dravya, whether he is having much more of ppbs or fbs. So such analysis I'm going to draw. Okay, so and I will interpret the data. Okay, and this will be the result reporting. Okay, this is how usually all the researches goes. Okay, so coming to the individual topics. Okay, in the first topic, introduction to the research, we have the objectives of the research, need and scope of the research, evidence based medicine. Okay, and the integrative medicine. You must know what is evidence based medicine. Simply you can't take some research. Okay, and simply you can't take find out a area and go with it. You must have evidence. Okay, it must be there in any of the classics. Okay, so it may be explained in charaka. Okay, so that you can take it as a point and go with the studies. Okay, so or it is proved in some other article which is published. Okay, so you can go with such studies. Okay, integrative medicine. Okay, so how you're going to apply. Okay, so research in the Ayurvedic science. Okay, where and all you will get the references which is related to Ayurvedic science. Okay, those things you're supposed to know. And one more thing, they may not ask directly as research. Okay, they may ask some of the terms. Okay, anusandhana. Anusandhana is a terminology which will be used. Okay, by using the Sanskrit term. Okay, so that also you must understand it as research and you must answer for that. Okay, and some of the synonyms are there. Okay, such as uh, gaveshana, anveshana, even all this. Okay, these terms may be used. Okay, you should not get confused with that. Okay, and so this is about introduction to research. You must know the objectives, what is the scope of it, what is the need of it. Okay, and you must know about evidence based medicine, what it is, and what is the integrative medicine. Okay, coming to the historical development. Okay, contemporary research milestones. Okay, from when, from which time. Okay, maybe from the nomadic time. Okay, research was evolved, and how it has evolved over the years. Okay, those things you must know. Evidence of research in Ayurveda classical literature. Okay, most of the like references what we get is evidence based. Okay, and we have to prove that. Okay, so evidence. Okay, you're going to give the reason and you're going to practice it. Okay, so these points you're supposed to cover from the first and the second topic. Okay, and coming to the research type, you must know what is the difference between the primary and the secondary research. Okay, and you must know what is qualitative and what is quantitative. Okay, in some areas, okay, for example, in pain management, okay, you may describe the pain as mild, moderate and severe. Okay, you can't explain it like I have 5 number pane, 6 number pane, like this, right? Okay, hence it is called as the qualitative research. And in some of the area you will have the quantitative data. Okay, like you may tell it as, okay, so the blood pressure level, systolic blood pressure level is 120 or 130, 140. Okay, there we need the quantitative data, or you can utilize both, which will be considered as the mixed research. Okay, and one more is descriptive and analytical. Okay, you're going to describe the research, and one in another area you're going to analyze. Okay, depending on the result what you get, data what you get, you're going to analyze. Okay, and you have the basic applied transitional research. Okay, you have the observational and the interventional research. Okay, you're going to try some drug, okay, and observe the result. Okay, so you're going to formulate the treatment intervention, you're going to see the result. Okay, so all these are the type of researches. Okay, you must mainly know about the difference between the primary, secondary, qualitative, quantitative, descriptive, analytical, okay, observational, interventional, basic and the applied. Okay, all this, the differences and the description related to each of the research you must know. Okay, and coming to the research ethics. Okay, here you are supposed to know why, what is the need of ethics in research. Okay, so it is very important area. Okay, so you should not have any of the ethical issues which is related to your research. Okay, that's why you must get the permission from human institutional human ethical committee, or if you are doing some animal study, you must get the certificate from IAEC, that is Institutional Animal Ethics Committee. Okay, so these two, okay, may come for 5 marks. That is the human research and the animal research. Okay, you must know. Okay, you must prepare it for 5 months. And some of the publication ethics. Okay, so when you are publishing some of the articles, so you must know what are the ethics you are supposed to follow. Okay, you have to see for plagiarism. You are not supposed to copy some of the content and state it as you have um, written those lines. Okay, so you must have reference for all these things. Okay, so you're not supposed to just, okay, copy and paste the stuff. Okay, so there are such publication ethics, okay, what you are supposed to follow. And maybe it will come for MCQs, or it may come for SAQs. Okay, you must supposed to know what are the publication ethics, what is the need of publication ethics. Okay, and what are the uh, steps you have to follow for publication. Okay, coming to the next point, research designs and some of the terminologies. Okay, so case report, case series, cross sectional study, longitudinal study, cohort, case control, randomized control trial, research literature and the reviews. Okay, preclinical methods. Okay, these are some of the important terminologies what you're supposed to know. Okay, so how they may ask, they may ask what is the difference between the case report and the case series. Okay, you must know that. What is the difference between cross sectional study and case control study? Or they may ask us what is the difference between the cross sectional study and the cohort study. Okay, so you must know what is cohort observational study, what is cross sectional study. So all these terms you are supposed to know. Okay, so in the research process, okay, which is the next topic, you're selecting the problem, okay, case problem, and you're going to have a review of the literature. If you have taken certain study, okay, you have to go with the literature. Okay, so what we usually do is we'll go with the Vedas and Upanishads, okay, Samhitas, okay, and modern day literatures. Okay, some of the modern textual references and some of the articles which you will be giving as the reference. Okay, so some of the publications. Okay, so all this will be a literature review. Okay, what all the things which it may be a disease review, or it may be a, okay, so such kind of details you're going to take it in the literature research. Okay, and formulate hypothesis and the objectives, what you're going to do. Okay, whether you are going to evaluate the efficacy of Chandra Prabhavati in Mutra Kuchra. Okay, so that will be the objective what you're going to write. Okay, and plan the materials and methods, how you're going to evaluate if its efficacy. Okay, are you going to give the comparison with the other drug, or you are going to give the intervention and find out whether it is effective in that condition. So such methods you are going to adopt. Okay, and collect and analyze the and interpret. Okay, so you're going to collect the data, analyze it. Okay, through your study you're going to collect the data. It may be numerical or the subjective data. You're going to collect, analyze it, whether it is effective in this condition, or you have two groups, which one is more effective. Okay, and you're going to give interpretation, like in which condition it is effective, whether it is in the acute condition or the chronic condition. Okay, such interpretations you're going to give, and you're going to draw the conclusion whether this particular drug is, okay, very effective in this particular condition. Those conclusions you're going to give, and it will be reported scientifically through the publications or presentations such. Okay, so this is the complete research process. The materials you may include surveys, medical equipment, software. Okay, data sources. In some of the standard sources you can collect the data. The methods cover data collection and analysis approaches suited to the research problem. Okay, it must be suitable to the research problem, what you have stated before. Okay, and coming to the some of the reporting, IPR and the critiquing. You must take the databases. Okay, you have to go to some portals like Ayush Research Portal. Okay, Namaste portal, where you will get the data of the some of the studies. Okay, there you can collect the data. Okay, and some of the portals. Okay, in some of the portals you will get the researches. You can go with the PubMed articles, you can go with the Scopus articles, you can go with the Google Scholar articles. Okay, so these are the databases from where you will be extracting the data. Okay, which will be relevant for your study. And artificial intelligence. Okay, you have to explore artificial intelligence, how far it is going to adoptable in your study. And reporting guidelines. Okay, you'll have different. Strobe is the most concert, or the strobe is the mainly used ones. Okay, so reporting guidelines, they will provide you the guidelines. Okay, how it has to be reported. Okay, and coming to the IPR, intellectual property right. Okay, the patent. Okay, and the TKDL. Okay, so these are the areas where ethics are important. Okay, so you can't just take some other studies and claim it as your own study. Okay, or if you have invented something new, you can register and take the patent and go with the study. Okay, research critiquing, identifying the research question, finding strengths, limitations and the improvement. Okay, so you're going to give the critic over how the findings are, what is the strength of the research. Okay, what are the areas for improvement. All this you can come across in the research critiquing. Okay, so these are some of the area which will come for mostly MCQs. Okay, so this is a mostly MCQ oriented area. Okay, topic. Okay, from data to decision. Data, you're going to collect the data, you're going to describe, you're going to test it or compare it, or you're going to frame the model, and then you're going to interpret. Okay, this is the process what we are going to adopt. Okay, so this will come for MCQ. And presentation of the data. Okay, this may come for SAQ also. Okay, and it may come for MCQs also. Okay, what are the different data you have collected, and how you are going to uh, represent it. Okay, so it must be in a graphical method. Okay, where you will be using the bar graphs or the pie chart. Okay, where you will by looking at it, Okay, your data can be understood very easily, and it may be in the graphical method. Okay, you may have seen in the share markets, okay, if it is going high or it is going down. Okay, so there, okay, whether the improvement is going on high day by day, or it is falling down. Okay, so such kind of for such kind of study you can use the graphical method, or also, or the textual method, you can just describe them. Okay, so these are some of the data representation types. Okay, it may come for SAQ or the MCQ. And these are the important topics. Okay, measures of central tendency. Okay, so many of the students get confused, okay, with these two, and they may interchange the answers. Okay, so be very careful while answering this. In central tendency, you are going to explain what is central tendency, what are the points which will be covered in central tendency. It is the article mean, median, and the mode, these three. Okay, you are going to explain. How you are going to explain? You're going to explain what is mean, what is median, and what is mode. That this is not enough for 10 marks, because it will be usually coming for LAQ, right? Okay, so what you have to do, you are supposed to explain what is central tendency, okay, what is mean, median, and mode, with some of the examples. Okay, you choose some random values. Okay, show them like how it has to be calculated by arranging them from ascending to the descending order. You're going to find out the mean, median, and the mode. Okay, so this is how your answer must be. And at last, if you are answering, what are the qualities of good measures of central tendency? Okay, so where it has its limitation, and where it is, okay, it can be adopted very well. Okay, those points you can cover in the central tendency, which will be usually asked for 10 marks. Okay, and coming to measures of variability or dispersion or diversion. Okay, so here, sorry, deviation. Okay, so here you will have range, okay, and coefficient of range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and the standard error. Okay, these points will be covered here. You have to explain each entity. Okay, you have to explain what is the range. Okay, what is the quartile deviation, mean deviation, how, so you are going to explain it, what is range. Okay, so, and right, you have to write the formula for each. Okay, each are having the, okay, each entities are having the formulas, and you're going to give. Okay, take the random numbers, give some example, and explain. Okay, so write the formula, how you're calculating mathematical terms, arithmetic terms. Okay, so in the same way, okay, you explain what is quartile deviation or the mean deviation. Okay, so you take the write the formula. Okay, explain all the components there. Okay, take an example and describe them. Okay, this is how you're going to get a better marks for this topic, this particular topic. Okay, so these two are very important for LAQ. Next, coming to probability. Okay, so you must know what is probability. Okay, so here you, what I have mentioned below is the distribution curve. Okay, which will be bell curve, which will be dividing the curve into the equal identical halves. Okay, what are the properties of probability? Okay, and you have to explain the normal distribution curve. Okay, so this will be usually coming for MCQs. Okay, and hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Okay, so you will have you will have null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. It will be represented by H0. And okay, so what are the tests of significance? Okay, so here what you have to concentrate is, this will usually come for MCQ. Okay, and what you have to concentrate is p value. Okay, so what if the p value is equal to 0.05? Okay, or p value is greater than 0.01. Okay, or p value is less than 0.01. Okay, so what is the meaning of these terms? Okay, so whether it is highly significant, not significant, moderately significant, such terms you must know. Usually they will be asked, okay, in the hypothesis. or test of significance. And coming to the statistical terms, okay, this is also one of the important topic where you will have the parametric tests and the non-parametric tests. Okay, you must know which are the parametric tests and which are the non-parametric tests. Okay, they may give ANOVA is which kind of test, whether it is parametric, okay, and chi-square test, it is non-parametric. Okay, these things you are supposed to know, and you must know what is ANOVA, what is t-test, what is z-test, what is chi-square test. Okay, so Wilcoxon test, okay, what are these tests, you must know the meaning. Okay, and you must know which comes under the parametric test and which comes under the non-parametric test. Okay, so yeah, this will also usually come for MCQ, or it may come for SAQ. Okay, so you must know what are the tests, you must be able to explain them for fine marks. Okay, and last topic, it is the correlation. So understand the relationship between the variables and interpret the correlation. Okay, so you must know what is the correlation. Okay, so you must be able to explain by giving the example. Okay, so whether sorry, whether the kapha vruddhikara ahara is leading to stauvya, or sneha yukta ahara is going to meda vruddhi. Okay, such correlations you will be giving between two variables. Okay, so what is the cause, what is the result? Okay, so this you are going to correlate. Okay, so you must take one example, okay, and correlate the both. Regression. Understanding regression as a method for describing, estimating the relationship using the data. Okay, so you will be using the data, okay, and you will be trying to build a relationship between. Okay, and coming to the statistical software, review commonly used statistical software and understand their features and applicability. Okay, for calculating the data, you may need some of the statistical software such as SPSS softwares and all. Okay, so which we will be studying in detail later on. Okay, so if you give the set of data, okay, you will be able to calculate the analyze, you can be able to analyze and give the result. Okay, so you have to take the data, put it in the software, you have to analyze, and you're going to provide the interpretation related to that. Okay, so these you questions will be usually coming for MCQs. Fine. Yeah, so this is what I have explained you previously. Okay, so high priority area, okay, will be LAQ. Okay, usually you have to concentrate on research types, research designs, research process in the research methodology topic. Okay, so remember this: research types, research ethics, research design, research process. Okay, these are the important areas where you have to concentrate. Got it? Okay, and data presentation, central tendency, and measures of variability. Okay, so these are the questions, okay, which you have to concentrate much. Okay, if you read these topics mainly, okay, you can get maximum number of marks. Okay, you may be able to explain attend maximum number of questions. Okay, so master the question types for every topic, give special attention to the topics permitted for LAQs. Okay, in these areas, whatever I have mentioned, use must to know content as the foundation for SAQs and the LAQs. You people already know this. Okay, for must to know, you have to concentrate much for the SAQs and the LAQ area, where desire to know and nice to know, you have to concentrate for the MCQs. Okay, MCQs may also contains the question of must to know. Okay, yeah, so these things I have explained you already. Okay, so research, data, statistics, evidence, Ayurveda practice. Okay, so this is how we can come up with a better research. Okay, I think I have covered much of the points here. Okay. uh, yeah, so how explained you how will be the marks distribution. So what are the areas you have to concentrate. Okay, so it will be a very easy paper once if you understand the concepts very well. Okay, so biostatistics may be little difficult for you. Okay, but if you understand those, okay, if you are good at calculations, you can catch them well. Okay, so you usually learn their meanings. Okay, had the formulas. Okay, and take some of the data, and you must know how to calculate them. Okay, so if you cover all this, okay, you will be able to attend much of the uh, questions. Fine. So I'm going to end it here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank you so
wonderful,
much.
insightful question, ma'am. We are grateful for you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.